evening and welcome to Kawasaki Instant News. We, be- we begin tonight with a severe natural disaster in the United States, a catastrophic flood that struck central Texas from July 4 to July 7 to 2025. It was caused by the Miscule Combat Vortex flooded by remnants of Tropical Storm Barry. Authorities report that the flood caused over 120 caused and more than 116 people were still missing. Kerr County, that hardest hit area, suffered 96 deaths, including 7 children for Camp Mystic. One official described the water as a pitch black wall of death. What a disaster! The Guadalupe River rose 33 feet in just 2 hours. Property damage was estimated at around 18 to 22 billion. Let's go to my colleague Maria, who will explain how the flood happened and why it was too deadly.
Thank you, Harry. Naturalists explained that this was no ordinary storm. They said a mesoscale vortex had stalled over the Texas Hill Country, dumping enormous amounts of rain. Some areas received over 15 inches in just one day. That's gigantic rainfall. Experts said the flood was caused by tropical moisture left behind by Tropical Storm Barry. Rain gauges in Hunt, Texas recorded 6.5 inches in only 3 hours. Emergency officials told people to evacuate immediately, and many were rescued by boat or helicopter. One rescuer told reporters to avoid flooded roads as the water looked shallow but was actually dangerous. They also told citizens to stay calm and wait for help. Unfortunately, not everyone was warned in time. A former sheriff said he had requested a local flood alert system 9 years ago, but it was never built due to cost. This wasn't just a severe storm, it was a deadly flood. Now, we go to Melanie, who's reporting live from Kerr County.
Thanks, Emilia. I'm here in Kerr County, where search and rescue teams have been working non-stop. Rescue workers say they have used drones, boats, and helicopters to find missing people. Over 850 people were rescued, but more than 160 are still missing. One local woman told me she had to climb a tree to survive and walk to a church for help. She asked me to tell people not to ignore flood warnings again. The National Guard deployed emergency teams and the Federal Emergency Management Agency joined efforts, although many are concerned about its future. Red Cross shelters provided flashlights, food, water, and first aid kits. What a shame! Entire neighborhoods were destroyed. Cars and houses were swept away by the current. But in all the pain, people also helped each other. One man told us to thank the volunteers who saved his family. Thank goodness for that. Let's now hear from our climate expert, Astrid, with recommendations.
Thanks, Melanie. Let's talk about how to prepare for future emergencies like this one. The National Weather Service advised citizens to follow this recommendation. Stay informed. They told people to listen to the weather radio and to use alert apps on their phones. They told families to follow official pages on social media to get the news fast. Prepare an emergency plan. They say to identify safe evacuation routes and to choose a family meeting point. They advise everyone to prepare a kit with non-perishable food, water, flashing light, batteries, and medicine. Official reminded citizens to store important documents in a waterproof container. During the flood, they told us not drive on flooded roads. They told residents to evacuate as soon as ordered. One firefighter told me to stay in high ground and call emergency services. They told children to not touch fallen power lines. After the flood, they told people to wait the authorities' green light before returning home. They warned us to not drink contaminated water. They say to contact insurance companies as soon as possible. Finally, climate scientists warned that more deadly floods could happen in the future. They say to improve drainage system and not to boil in a flood zones. What a huge environment disaster! But if we act wisely, we can be better prepared next time. Please stay informed for future updates. We continue reporting as we learn more. Until then, stay safe and take care.